Mike Newman. It's Monday morning finish line. It's November 4th, 5 days away. State meet in Peoria. Hotbed of cross country in this state. Nation? Maybe. So hope you all had a great weekend. I hope you all stayed warm. I hope you all cleaned up. Oh my gosh, it was muddy all over the place. I was at St. Charles East in the morning and then Lake Park in the afternoon. Not the best of conditions to run cross country. I mean, it wasn't raining or snowing. That happened a few days before that. But that's very interesting. And I said in the previews, you could see some differences or whatever. Some things going on that you didn't expect. Well, some of the things, and we'll go through that. We'll try to breeze through each of the sectionals, each of the 6 state races that we have on coming up on Saturday. I'm not going to talk about what happened last week. All that news, that 15-minute news cycle is up. Thank goodness. So let's talk cross country. Okay, let's feed your brain, get you ready for the state meet. Okay. Let's start with boys 3A. I was at St. Charles East. Watch the finish of the boys race.
Oh, here we go. This is Bobby Liking, St. Charles East at 15:13. He made the break in this final mile, and he's going to win it. 15:20, 15:22. There's Allen. Here comes Geisler. Micah Wilson, St. Charles East number 2 runner. Here comes King. Dovolowski and Graham made a move. There's their 4th runner safe.
It was slippery at the finish. I mean, I'm standing in the mud. I tried to put my ladder, by the finish line, and my kind of caved to the left there. I didn't use the ladder. So in that race, St. Charles East looked good. 34-second split, 5 runners in the top 11, 12, something like that. One easily over Oswego East. Oswego East with the bright green unis. You could see them all over the place on that course. Naperville North 3rd, nice pack. 5th runner was a little bit back. Waubonsie Valley makes it for the first time, 2007. Congratulations to you guys for getting there. You've had a great season. You get 1 more week to race. Well, 2 weeks if you go to Terre Haute. And then Naperville Central, 15 in Batavia misses by 2 points. So you saw Bobby Liking finishing in that race. I have a froggy throat this morning. He moved away from Jake Allen in the final mile. On the girls' side, Maggie Gamboa pulled away from the field, won in 17:44. I think it would have been a minute faster. I think the boys' race would have been 40 seconds faster. But it was just so muddy. There was nothing you could do. You just race. It was about racing. It wasn't about times. So you had Naperville North. You had Batavia. Batavia had 3 runners in before Naperville North second. You had Oswego with a nice pack. Huntley surprised a lot. They were ranked during the year, so not really a surprise. They were 4th, St. Charles East 5th. Gamboa first, Heinrich. Ashley Heinrich, who's running great this year. She was 2nd. Went over to Lake Park. The girls' race, Caitlin Hart on her birthday, and I said happy birthday to her already, 16:33 at Lake Park in those conditions. And it was muddy, it was slippery, and Hart still runs 16:33, maybe tempoing it. It's hard to say. So Glenbard West, again, ahead of Wheaton Warrenville South, even though Wheaton Warrenville South had their 5th runner in before Glenbard West 5th, but Glenbard West with 1-3-4 with Hart, Ullman, and Engel. That's a good first 4. They'll have 3 in the top 20 at state, It's their 4th and 5th are starting to move up a little bit, so it'll be interesting to watch to see what Glenbard West does. Wheaton Warrenville South 2nd looked better than their last race, even though Harvey will disagree with that. York 3rd, Oak Park 4th, and then New Trier 5th. Those 3 teams were separated by about 15 points. Sam Poglish, great race by Sam Poglish. She could be one of those runners that you see in the chase pack with Gamboa and all the other runners in there, Nikovic, whatever. So that was a good race. Boys race, it's what we said in the preview. York had to do a certain thing. They had to get the runners in ahead of their pack, and they did that. A 19-second split for York, 3-4-6 finish from Klisch, Kern, and Colin Hill. Billy Howenstein he's a world beater right now. He's going to do some great things this weekend. So is this team too. I wouldn't count out Wheaton Warrenville South after that. I think they will be close to York and they'll be close to St. Charles East. But they were 2nd in that meet. New Trier looked good, 3rd, even without one of their top 5 runners. Maine South 4th, and then 5th was so close between Wheaton North getting 5th. Their number 1 runner is injured, a lower body injury. That's what he told me to say. And then you had Loyola that was close, Glenbard West that was close, and Jones Prep had 19 hours to prepare for the race. And they got 8th. They ran a pretty good race. If you take all the Chicago Public League schools out of that race, it's still going to be the same, but it's going to be even closer with Wheaton North and then Glenbard West 1 point back, and then Loyola with another 3 points back. At Hinsdale Central at Lyons Township, because they had to move it because Catherine Legge was in bad shape. There's somebody on Twitter going, "Come on, run on that course." The course was in horrible shape. Kids were going to get hurt. You don't do that. Like, run in California. Please, sir, go to California. So you had, on the boys' side, Sandburg. Their split was big, but they had a 12-second split between 3 and 5. Will and Ben Giblin were up 2-3. They ran a great race. Times, doesn't matter. Tyler Cushing winning that race easily. But 12-second split for Sandburg's 3 to 5. But there was like a minute gap between the Giblins and then the rest of the pack. Interesting, Hinsdale Central ran a great race. We're 69 points, only 8 behind Sandburg. And then came Downers Grove North, Lyons Township, and Downers South has been all year on the boys' side. They made it out, so congratulations to the Mustangs for that. On the girls' side, how about this? It was so muddy that Brenna Cahoon, Downers Grove South, wins the individual race on that course. Ran about a minute slower than she did the week before in regionals. But she lost her shoe at 400 meters. Can you believe that? And she ran the whole race. I don't know if she's going to clean that sock or frame it, put it on her wall or whatever. This is the sock I ran in my senior sectional race. But she won. Erin Reedy 2nd. Downers Grove North, 4 runners in the top 9, beats Hinsdale Central. 5th runner was 15th, and if they're going to catch Naperville North, they've got to get that pack closer together. And then Hinsdale Central 2nd, Lyons Township, Lockport, Lyons Township, and Downers Grove North. That was what we thought, and that's what happened. At Hoffman Estates, Josh Methner did what he had to do, stayed safe. I mean, the winning time was 15:22 at that mud pit at Bussey Woods. Just muddy all over the weekend. Hersey, Lake Zurich looked good. Hey, how about McHenry 3rd and Glenbrook South 4th? Way to go, guys. You're going downstate. And then Barrington 5th. So we didn't see Palatine. Didn't have their best race. Richie Jacobo has been having a great year, and he didn't make it individually either. So that really stinks. On the girls' side, close. Now, Barrington beat Prospect by 32 points the week before. Yeah, 32 points, or 2 weeks ago at MSL. And Prospect won by 1 point. Barrington's first 3 runners, top 7, top 8, top 9, something like that. And then the 4th and 5th runners were back. And that gap needs to close if Barrington wants to get a trophy next weekend. Prospect, nice pack. And then you also have 5 MSL schools going down on the girls' side. You have Fremd, you have Hersey, and you have Palatine. Palatine missed last year. Didn't have a great sectional race last year. They had a good sectional race this year. They're going down. Yorkville, boy, they're interchangeable, aren't they? On the girls' side, Helena Claronymous. Sorry. It's been a long weekend. She wins the individual race by this much over Riley Noyle, the freshman from Edwardsville. Close race there. Yorkville wins easily, 30 points, I think, something like that. Manuka second. Manuka had a nice pack. They got Julia Dames back. They're going to be tougher at state with her in there. They have a great sophomore and freshman group. And then O'Fallon, still running without one of their, with Peyton Schipple, who's been injured. They didn't race her. So maybe they give it a shot on Saturday. And then Lincoln Way Central 4th and Edwardsville. Wow, what a big story for Edwardsville. They thought it was going to be a rebuilding year, and what do? Run their best race of the year. They're in at state. So I think you'll see the previews coming up at the end of the week. We'll see Methner up there. We'll see Sherrod Crease. We didn't mention the boys' side there. So Crease and Gardner were together at 2 miles. Crease took off the final mile, 14:37. Gardner second at 15:01. Wetzel third. So you have Manuka, Yorkville 1-2. Manuka looked good. Need to get the pack closer together. Hoffman was off the front 2, front 3. He was their 4th runner actually. Then Yorkville had a great race second. Then Lincoln Way Central, Edwardsville, and Lincoln Way East. So the 2 Lincoln Way schools in there. So the team for the team battle, you got 2 team runners in Gardner and Crease up there. So individual team-wise, I think we've been saying it all along. York is closing the gap with a 19-second split. They're close to St. Charles East. Wheaton Warrenville South is close to York. Sandburg is close to those 3 teams. It's going to be an interesting state team there. On the girls' side, I think Naperville North with the advantage. But then you have 3 teams. You have Downers Grove South, you have Batavia, and you have Glenbard West. They're going to get 1 point, but it depends to where their 2 and 3 runners are, and then if their 4 and 5 runners move up. If the 4 and 5 runners drop back, Glenbard is out of a trophy, but it's going to be close there. So, looking at my list, let's go to 2A. On the boys' side, we'll just do all 5 sectionals on the boys' side, okay? Yeah, we'll do that. The best sectional race of the weekend was at Belvedere. Caneland winning with 64 points, Dixon 71. Caneland's the favorite. They've got those runners. They're going to get low points, which in a state meet, especially on your first 2 runners, if you're getting single-digit points, wow. Caneland's split was a little bit wide, a little bit big. It needs to close down a little bit. Dixon had a nice pack. They're going to need a good pack on Saturday. But Caneland, Dixon, Sycamore, Marmion Academy, Burlington Central. Great individual race between Charlie Smith, who's going to be one of the individual favorites. Andrew Adams, and then Daniel Acapinti, Andrew Farmer. It's going to be or Austin Adams. It's going to be a good race at state. At Fenton, which was, the winning time was 16:56. It was that muddy. It was that, conditions were terrible. But St. Ignatius, they're a team I would keep an eye on for the top 3. I think they're in the hunt there. St. Ignatius, St. Francis is a team that's up and coming. I'd keep an eye on them. Glenbard South has been running good all year, and Mather, the only team from the Chicago Public League in any, both genders and classification to make it in. So they were 4th, Fenwick 5th. So great job there. Jacob Flynn, the individual winner. St. Ignatius has a nice pack, and that we'll see how that works against Dixon and Caneland. At Bloomington, Morton, team to keep an eye on. Sneaky good. They won. They're going to be in the mix for a trophy, I think. If they just run the race that they ran at sectionals, they have Sam Lang. Sam is he's going to be the favorite. I think you're going to have the three guys from Belvedere, the Belvedere sectional. I think they're going to be interesting to watch. But Morton winning handily over Peoria, Notre Dame, Muhammad, Seymour, no seniors in their top 7, they're going to be good next year. And then Bloomington, and then Metamora. Metamora is up and down. They have 2 runners up there in the top 5 at the sectional, Gilbert Glob and O'Laughlin, but the 3, 4, 5 were back. So they need to address that quickly, and see what happens. Mascoutah by 7 points over Chatham Glenwood at Decatur MacArthur. Troy 3rd, Springfield 4th, Centralia 5th. Brooks Harlan, who's a guy that you should keep an eye on at state. He won the race individually. And then, boy, my throat's going. This isn't good. At Thornridge, Bennett, nice pack, wins it. Richards, Brother Rice, Riverside, Brookfield, and then Bremen. Bremen had their best race of the year. They go downstate. And Julian Watson, Hinsdale Central. Hinsdale South. Hinsdale South didn't make it to state, but Watson won the individual race, so good job by Julian. Girls, 2A girls. So at Belvedere, it was the exact opposite of what we had ranked. We had Belvedere North, we had Prairie Ridge, Crystal Lake South, and Dixon, and Lakes. And so how did it end up? Lakes, Dixon, the opposite. So here again, conditions maybe played a part in that race. We don't know. All those teams are in the hunt. Lakes has Brooke Stromsland. Olivia Schmidt was in the top 10. But a nice pack by Lakes, 5 runners in the top 25. And then Dixon 2nd, Prairie Ridge, Crystal Lake South, Belvedere North, defending state champs. I wouldn't count them out this week. They'll have a better race this weekend. Their 4th and 5th runners were a little bit farther back, and Sydney Elder was their number one runner, not Madison Dirks or Gianna Sagona. So, interesting there. Brooks Stromson is going to be one of the individual favorites in the race. She won by 45 seconds, so she will be up there. We'll talk about that in a minute. I think your team favorite may be Latin School, because they've got Marianne. They've been ranked 3-4 all year, and I wasn't even putting Mijas in the mix. Mijas came back. She was their 3rd runner, 6th place. And you have Ava Perek, who will be challenging for the individual title. And you have B. Parr, who ran a great race, was 2nd to Perek. Lanton wins the team title 39-52 over St. Ignatius Prep. St. Ignatius had a nice pack. And then Vernon Hills 3rd. Rose Sheridan was the team's 6th runner. So they need her up there for Vernon Hills to get a trophy. Rose had a good race. Didn't have a best race at conference. Had a good race at regionals. Sectional race, and then so at state, maybe back up for Vernon Hills. But Vernon Hills 3rd in that. Fenwick 4th. Trinity makes out in 5th. Lanton and St. Ignatius are teams to keep an eye on. Lanton may be the favorite, even though we'll get to Bennett Academy. We'll see on that. Peoria Notre Dame won their first girls sectional title at Bloomington. Bloomington was 2nd, Dunlop 3rd, Morton 4th, Muhammad Seymour 5th. And the one cool thing about that, Olivia Rosenstein, who wasn't running last year because of an injury, she pulled away from Emma Skinner and Morton, who's been having a great sophomore season, and Rosenstein wins it. So interesting to see how those teams fall in at state. Chatham Glenwood, nice pack, 5 in the first 25, winning at Decatur MacArthur, ahead of Highland, Mount Zion. Carbondale had a good race. They were 4th. And Mascoutah was fifth, and the individual race, Tatum David. What can we say about Tatum David that we haven't said? I think she wins by 2 minutes 2 seconds, but there's really no individual competition. She hasn't run against anybody since she kind of torched Ava Perec at first to the finish at the beginning of the year. This is a different Ava Perec. You know, she ran 16:33, 16:34 at first to the finish. No, not first to the finish, at Naperville Twilight. So the name of the game, and put Brooke Stromslin in that picture, but the name of the game in that race is David's going to take it out hard. And who wants to go with her? Because Perec found out in that first Peoria race that she thought, oh, maybe I can reel her back in. Never happened. So we're going to see what happens. That's going to be an interesting race. The dynamics of that are so, analyzing. I've looked at papers and I figured it out. And, so that's going to be interesting. And then we get to Thornridge. I was just trying to block that sectional out of my mind. Sorry, it wasn't a good section. I mean, you didn't have power teams, but there are 5 pretty good teams that made it in, led by Bennett. The thing with Bennett is they weren't pushed in that race. They've been running, they're ranked number 1 in the final rankings, but they've been running this all year. Been running consistent, grade levels, time-wise, split-wise, speed rating-wise. They've been close to the same. They were close to the same in this race at Thornridge. So the key is for Bennett is they've got to counter that pack or the front runners that Latin has, and they have to have 5 runners within 20-25 seconds of each other, and hopefully they have one runner, either Joy Jackson or Emily Spellman, that can get close to Mijas. But they need 5 runners in before Latin's 4th, or 6 runners in before Latin's 4th, for them to have a chance to win this. I think it's going to be a very interesting race. You had Lamont, Colette Kinsella, Colette Kinsella of Nazareth Academy wins the individual race there, ahead of Joy Jackson from Bennett and Kaylee Polizza of Lamont. So Lamont, Riverside, Brookfield, Nazareth Academy, and Hinsdale South make it in. So gave you my thoughts there. So we go to 1A boys. One of the biggest surprises in my head was this team from Centralia, Christ Our Rock Lutheran. Only 300 students in the class. I don't know. I'm in the school. I don't know how many runners are on that team. But they tied Bennett for the sectional title. It's their first sectional title, and they win on the 6th runner tie break. Wow. 2 runners in the top 10, led by Ty Reynolds. Reese Johnson of Bennett, who was a transfer in this year from Neoga. He wins the individual race close by 0.3 of a second over Ty Barbary of Carmi White County. Bennett ran a good pack, but nobody in this state had them on the radar at the beginning of the year, and look what they're doing. They're coming on strong, so they could do anything this weekend. They won't sneak up on people, but they are running pretty good. So Benton 2nd, Freeburg makes it again 3rd. Father McGivney 4th, and Steelville has come on strong at the end of the year. Was 5th there. Effingham St. Anthony. Monticello's the favorite. They had a nice split. They won easily over Urbana University, but they have a nice pack, 1 through 5, and it's close together. And it's going to be tough to beat that if they run the same race that they did in sectionals. Urbana University 2nd, St. Joe Ogden 3rd, Tolono 4th, Robinson 5th, Tolono 4th making it. That was a little bit of a surprise. Paxton Buckley Loda didn't make it in. That was kind of a surprise. But Ryder James, the individual race in 1A is wide open. And you could see Ryder James winning that race. You could see Drew Rogers from Herscher winning the race. Negus Bogard of Negus Bogard of Robinson gets 5th in that race. So he hadn't run for a while, whether he was sick or he's injured, he's working his way back into shape. We may see him up there. We may see Leighton Hall up there. Arthur Lovington didn't make it. They had been ranked in the top 15, on and off this year, and they got 6th. So, but Leighton Hall made it. Then the other tough sectional at Elmwood, Stanford Olympia looks good. I didn't see some of the runners in it, so if they substituted, they still are deep. And they won it ahead of Elmwood. Elmwood was about 40 points behind them. Then you had Deer Creek Mackinac, El Paso Gridley, and Eureka. And Illinois Valley Central didn't make it in. Elias Bergman made it in, their individual. So he will be up there. You had Bergman winning. No, it was a close finish between Noah McIntyre of Athens winning by 2 seconds over Miles Shepard. Those two guys are going to be up there. Anything can happen in that 1A boys race. At Lisle, Clifton Central, 3 in the first 5. The addition of the freshman Mary Anthony has really helped them. The thing with them is their 4th and 5th runners were back, and they can't have that. It's got to be closer on Saturday. Northridge Prep, 2nd. Herscher, 3rd between Latin. Latin will be up there. Achille, I think, Perec, Ava's little brother, was their first runner. Ryan Hardman was back a little bit, but here again, mud, you can play differences. It'll be a different race. And then Chicago University was 5th. So you have Drew Rogers in there. You have Isaiah Ditta, who will be in the hunt from that sectional. Then Harvest Christian Academy's been running good all year. And they won pretty easily over Rockford Christian. Rockford Christian, nice 2 through 5 pack behind their number 1 runner, D'Artagnan Beaver, who's in the top 10. So Aurora Central Catholic got 3rd, Rock Falls 4th, and Sherrard makes it in 5th. Dawson Smith wins the individual race pretty easily by 30 seconds. So you have Smith. You have a bunch of guys from the St. Anthony sectional. You have Ryder James. You have Leighton Hall. You have Negus Bogard. I'm going off the top of my head here. So if I miss somebody, I'm sorry. I won't miss you when I write my preview. So, interesting. On the girls' side, get to Detweiler early because that's going to be a great team race, and the individual race should be lights out too. Let's start alphabetically, starting with Benton. Benton wins pretty easily. Mia McLean on her home course for the last time wins pretty easily, and Benton looked good winning over the 2 through 4. DuQuoin with 97, Freeburg with 98, Roxana with 98. Wow, that was close. I'm glad that wasn't for the 5th spot. And then Breeze made her days, the 5th team in. So McLean wins pretty easily. She's going to be one of those runners that you're going to watch in the front. At Elmwood, Monticello, one of the teams to watch between them and Winnebago. They won. Tolono Unity looks good. They're sneaky good. They're not sneaky good. They're good. They were 2nd. They had a nice pack. St. Joseph Ogden had 1 runner in the top 10, and then their pack through 2 through 5 is good. It's got to move up a little bit. If they move up, they're in the hunt for a trophy. St. Thomas More made it in, and Urbana University High made it in. Marshall, who's been running good all year, didn't make it. They were 6th, so I feel sorry for them. Individual race, Katie Hamari, freshman from Urbana University, wins the race. It's going to be interesting because I thought Mabry Brune of Monticello would be in there. She was their 2nd runner for Monticello. Rachel Kuhn of Monticello was the team's 1st runner. So, got to keep an eye on that and see if Brown was holding back. She just had a bad race. We'll have to see. At Elmwood. Normal University High, the first runner, Lindsay Walters, was only 16th. But their fifth runner came in 31st. Nice little pack by the Pioneers. They win over Eureka, Stanford Olympia, Williamsville, and Tremont for the fifth spot. A little bit of a surprise over Elmwood. Individually, 1-2 finish by Anna Perry, and Alexi Fogo. They will be up there. They will be up in maybe in the chase pack. I don't know if they're going to be in the front pack. At Effingham, oh no, Amari was second. Duh, because Lydia's roller, she's ready to go. She won that individual race. Amari was second. I'm like, I'm missing somebody here off of the top of my head. And suddenly, like a meteor into my head, it's like, roller! So Lydia Roller is going to be up there too. At IC Catholic Prep wins at Lisle. Sizable win. They have 3 runners up there. They have Carly Manchester, who is second in the race, behind Julia Wolke of Christian Liberty Academy, who both I think will be in the top 10. They were only separated by tenths of a second in the regional race, separated by 5 seconds in this race. But I see Catholic Prep, 3 great runners that will be all state. Kennedy Manchester, Kennedy Calcagno, and Frankie Scheid, who is all state as a freshman. Didn't have her best race last year at state. She's going to be good. So she's going to be good in this race. The 4th and 5th runners are back. They're a top 10 team. They surprised me last year by getting 6. So anything can happen. They could run a great race and be up there. But it's depending on those first 3 runners. If those first 3 runners in the first 20, then yiko, they're going to be up there. So you have Beecher, Wheaton Academy, Chicago University, and then Herscher and Timothy Christian tie for 5th. So you have 6 teams going on of that sectional. And how about this? Elmhurst schools, York boys, York girls, and then Timothy Christian girls, IC Catholic Prep girls. 4 schools from Illinois make it out. And then only 3 from the cross-country power in Chicago with Mather and the 2 at St. Ignatius. I'm thinking at the top of it, yeah, St. Ignatius. Both the boys and girls who have a chance at trophy. So Elmhurst greater than Chicago this weekend? Yeah, I think so. I see people heading to court right now. I can't stop this show. Winnebago. Winnebago lost to Monticello by 5 points at Amboy. We remember that. But Winnebago didn't have Natalia Martino in there. Martino is in there. She finished 3rd behind Leanna Sertz and Bailey Fortney. Both will be up in the front in this race. But then Winnebago's 2 through 4 runners came in together. And then Grace Erb, who's normally in that pack, was her 5th runner. Now she missed regionals. Don't know if she was sick or a little injury or whatever, but she was her 5th runner. Get Grace Erb closer, then I think Winnebago wins it. Rock Falls 2nd. Rock Falls has a good squad that will challenge for a trophy. And then Rosary, Rockford Christian, and Harvest Christian Academy gets both their teams in with girls and boys. So, individual race in 1A. Sertz, the favorite. Roller up there, McLean up there, Bailey Fortney and Natalia Martino, and then more. So, that's it. The trophies. I forgot to do this. Hold on. So, that's it. Everybody enjoy your experience at Detweiler this weekend. You know, it doesn't matter what I say on paper, it's what you guys do on the course. But enjoy enjoy the moments there. Enjoy Friday when you get down there running around the course. And just realize this was a thing. One of the years when I went down with York to state with their team, helping Mr. Newton out, Peter Coe, Sebastian's Coe's father, went with the team. And Mr. Newton's on, not that, but he was stressed out. He was enjoying it. People were coming up to him, and Mr. Coe goes, Joe, look at how beautiful this is around here. Do you see those hills? Look at the changing colors in the trees. Enjoy that moment. I was looking at pictures last year after state that Laura Duffy did a tremendous job of taking pictures. The runners are going by, and these tree colors have changed to brilliant orange and yellow and things like that, and colors like that. So I get down there early on Friday. Fridays I consider a day off. I get to talk to a lot of coaches and a lot of kids and have fun. But I enjoy those moments. Last year it's going to be too cold to have a picnic in the middle of Detweiler Park. I had a picnic last year in the middle of Detweiler. I don't know what I'm going to do this year, if I'm going to do anything. Maybe just enjoy the moment. So hopefully I don't think we're going to have any rain. I think it's going to be 35, 36 degrees. My senior year, it's 40 years ago, my senior year. Wow. Maine East ran a better race by 2 points, 1 second ahead of us, but they were the state champs. We got second in that race. But this is a state team medal from 2012. It's the last year that York won, and my dad got it. And my dad's smiling below right now because of all the great things that York is doing right now, and in general, what all of you kids are doing down there, because he loved cross country. He loved going down state every year. He went there until like his middle 70s, until he couldn't do it anymore. But he enjoyed that moment, and Mr. Newton gave him this state championship medal. So enjoy the moments this weekend. Enjoy your teammates that are around you, because for some of you, this is your senior year. You'll never have that moment again. So you will treasure that. You'll remember this for the rest of your life. Regardless of the outcome, you'll remember these moments with your teammates and with your coaches and with your family. So, enough being sentimental and teary-eyed here. I'll see you down there. Previews will be out at the end of the week. Roland Hopkins will have his speed ratings out. We'll post those, and you can prove us wrong. But whatever, I'm not going to say that. So, have fun. And until I see you at Detweiler Park, or until Monday morning finish line next Monday, hope you remember to set your clocks back an hour. Have a great week.